he is connecting, but he's not connected to audio. So I just sent him a chat message.
Okay.
Jail. Still not connected. Yeah, Mr. Lyons. All right, I have a gentleman on an iPhone wearing a hat. So can you take your hat off? Because it's still kind of a virtual courtroom. All right, and sir, what is your name?
Benjamin Wallace.
All right, Mr. Wallace. Hold on 1 second. Who is your attorney?
That would be me, Your Honor.
All right, perfect. That worked out great. All right, let me grab his file. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Benjamin Ray Wallace, file number 22-20838FH. Find this one for you, Ms. Underwood.
I don't see an AG yet, Your Honor.
I don't know. Sometimes they send me, let's see if anybody looks AG-ish. Well, pre-trials are at 8:30. That's why it's not 8:30 yet. Mr. Wallace, I'm gonna pop you in the waiting room, all right?
Okay.
Okay, I do have Ahmed El Muhammad. Let me let him
Thank you,
in.
Your Honor.
Miss Reinhardt. For Mr. Malaro's clients, I'm gonna change your name just to add at the end that it's Mr. Malaro as your attorney, so I can bring you back in, all right? So I'm gonna pop you in the waiting room, thank you. All right, Mr. Al Muhammad, I'll be right with you in a moment. Mr. Vela, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Hold on 1 second. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Israel Vela, file number 21-20198FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Vela. Ms. Underwood, this is the date and time set for a violation of probation pre-trial conference. Let me see here. Are you already appointed or am I arraigning? You're already appointed to represent him. So Ms. Underwood, how would you like to proceed today?
May I have a breakout with Mr. Vela, please, Your Honor?
You may. All right, so I'm going to open a breakout room. All right, so you should get an invitation to join that breakout room. Go ahead and click on join. All right, Mr. Daly, your client is still not connecting to audio. I have sent a chat message to him. Send him another one to connect to audio. Mr. Loveless, sit right there. Okay. This. All right, I have somebody driving a car with a blue baseball cap on. So could you take that off because you're still kind of in court, even though you're zooming in?
Okay.
And what is your name, please?
Sharon Pelfrey.
All right. Let me change your screen name.
Sorry, I just got off work.
No, it's okay. Not a problem.
Okay.
Let's see. Make sure I spelled Pelfrey. Is it Pelfrey or?
It's Frey.
And who is your attorney?
Matt Murphy.
Okay.
Sorry, Your Honor, that's one of my clients.
Okay. Okay. Let me find her file. All right. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Sharon K. Pelfrey, file number 22-20697FH, and Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Ms. Pelfrey. This is a date and time set for a final pretrial conference in this matter. Obviously, the motion deadlines, jury instructions, and voir dire questions are not due until March 1 of 2023. And this matter is set for trial on April 4 of 2023 at 9 a.m. So, Mr. Murphy, where do you stand today on this file?
Yes, Your Honor. In regards to Ms. Pelfrey's case, I was speaking with Mr. Fleming, and from my understanding, the offer right now from the prosecution would be for Ms. Pelfrey to plead to one count of illegal posting of a message and another count of, let me make sure I have this right, another count of stalking, a misdemeanor charge. At this time, from my understanding, Ms. Pelfrey does not wish to accept that offer. I was going to just ask that we continue a not guilty plea in the case, and we just continue the case along the trial as set right now.
All right, we will do that. Mr. Murphy and Ms. Pelfrey, if the parties reach a different resolution or Ms. Pelfrey wishes to plead, I would ask that you do that before the day of trial, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you back in April then. Thank you, Ms. Pelfrey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right,
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you. Mr. Van Meldigan, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Under every file. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jeffrey John Van Meldigan, file number 19-19709FC. I have James Daly appearing on behalf of Mr. Van Meldigan, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. Mr. Daly, how do you wish to proceed?
Your Honor, a plea bargain has been arranged in Mr. Van Meldigan's case. We're ready to enter a plea.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me get you, all right. And do I need an amended information or will it be from the current information?
I believe that was provided last night. Ms. Soy said she was sending it over.
Okay, what is the plea offer then?
He's pleading one guilty to one count of accessory after the fact.
All right, so we count for Mr. Sneed, are you able to email that to me?
I'll locate it and send it as soon as possible, Judge.
All right, because I don't have the felony information. Miss Adams, could you see if you got that in your emails last night?
Judge, I did not.
Okay, so Mr. Van Meldigan, just bear with me for just a moment so that I can get a copy of that.
Okay,
I
yes,
have a
ma'am.
young lady zoomed in and your screen says Zoom user. So ma'am, what is your name?
Sorry, it's Ashley Cousino.
Say that again for me, please.
Ashley Cousino.
Ashley Cousino?
Yes.
Okay, let me see where you are. Hold on. I guess that's the Guns client. So hold on, let me find you. All right, well, I have Attorney Draper, but Celeste Dunn, are you appearing on behalf of Ms. Cousino today?
I am, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ashley Marie Josephine Cousino. Let me get your file.
Noah.
All right, so, right, Mr. El Muhammad, I'm gonna pop you in the waiting room just for a minute. I'll bring you right back. Okay, so, file number 22-21022FH. Miss Dunn, can you state your full name for the record and your P number for me, please?
Absolutely, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor. I am Celeste Dunn, P61819, and I'm here on behalf of the defendant, Ms. Ashley Cousino, who's also present in the courtroom.
Okay, well, actually via Zoom. So this is the date and time set for a pretrial conference in this matter, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. So Ms. Dunn, how do you wish to proceed today?
Your Honor, we have a couple outstanding discovery issues. So maybe if I could bump in with Mr. Sneed. I sent an email a couple weeks ago that may or may not have been missed. Maybe we could resolve those because I do need that information prior to a trial.
So, Miss Dunn, on Wednesday mornings, I have 40 cases. I don't do breakout rooms except on the rare occasions for defendants, but you can use the chat function.
Okay.
Through Zoom to contact Mr. Sneed if you want to take a moment and chat with him that way, or sometimes people call, whatever it might be. So I can give you a few minutes to do that, and I'll just move on back to this one case real quick. All right.
Thank you very much, Judge.
All right, Ms. Cousino, so just hang on there. All right. So Miss Underwood, where'd she go? All right, Miss Underwood.
I'm here.
Okay. So you've had a moment to speak with Mr. Vela. How would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, I've spoken with Mr. Vela, and Mr. Vela this morning wishes to enter a plea in this matter, Your Honor. Mr. Vela, I'm sure, is aware that the last time he violated in this matter, Your Honor, that prison was recommended. So Mr. Vela wishes to enter a plea this morning.
All right. So I always want to say Vela, but how do you pronounce your last name again? I know you've told me a million times.
Vela.
Vela.
I apologize, Mr. Vela.
All right. So, all right, Mr. Vela, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Go ahead and put your hand down. Can you state your full name for the record, please?
Israel Vela Jr.
All right. So, Mr. Vela, do you understand it is alleged that you have violated the terms of your probation and that on January 21 of 2022, you were ordered to report to the probation department as often as required. And it was amended on September 24 of 2022, advising you to immediately report upon release from treatment. You were released from Salvation Army Harbor Light on October 29 of 22, and you failed to report any time thereafter. So you understand that's the allegation against you, Mr. Vela?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, you would ask for court-appointed counsel. We appointed Miss Underwood to represent you. Are you satisfied with her as your attorney and the advice that she has given you?
Yes, I am.
All right. Do you understand the maximum penalty you could be facing by entering a plea, or if you were found guilty, could be up to 10 years in prison? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, do you understand that you have a right to contest the violation of probation charge and to have a trial on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that throughout that trial, you would be presumed innocent until your guilt is proven by a preponderance of the evidence? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that you have a right to have all the witnesses against you appear at your trial, to have your lawyer ask those witnesses questions, or you may ask them yourself, and to have me order any witnesses you might have to appear at the trial? Do you understand all of that?
Yes, I do, Angela.
Okay, you do have a right to testify at your trial, and no one can say anything about you not testifying or hold it against you in any way. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, I do.
On the other hand, do you understand that you do have a right to testify at your trial if you want to testify?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Mr. Vela, how do you plead to the charge that you violated the terms of your probation by failing to report to your probation department as ordered? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you will be giving up the right to a trial, as I've already explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anything been promised to you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Has anyone threatened you in any way to get you to plead guilty?
No.
All right, by accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Vela, you were placed on probation, And one of the terms of your probation is you were to report to the probation department as often as required. Is that correct?
Yes,
All right, so you were sent to Salvation Army Harbor Light. And one of your terms of probation that was amended advised you to report immediately upon release from your treatment. Is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
Now, you were released from Salvation Army Harbor Light on October 29 of 2022, and you failed to report upon your release. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a updated or probation violation report. And I will set this for sentencing on December 15th at 8 a.m. Is that all right? Date fine with you, Ms. Underwood?
I'm sorry, what date was that, Your Honor?
December 15 at 8 a.m.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Vela, someone from the probation department will come see you. Be truthful with about the events that occurred, and we'll see you back on that date for sentencing. All right?
All right, thank you.
Judge, is that?
Thank you. Oh, Mr. Vela,
Yeah,
do you want to do that sentencing via Zoom?
yeah, it don't matter. Whatever works for you, Angela. Whatever.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in here, so.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vela. We'll do it
You're
via
welcome.
Zoom.
Well,
All right, Mr. Daly, Mr. Van Meldigan. Mr. Van Meldigan, can you, so where you're standing, I just see like the silhouette. I don't see your actual face. Is there somewhere you can go that lights up so I can see that in fact you are? Oh, there we go. That's much better. Thank you.
Okay,
sorry about that. And not a problem. So in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jeffrey John Van Meldigan, file number 19-19709 FC. Mr. Sneed, thank you very much for sending me the amended felony information. So Mr. Daly, I have an amended information that adds count 4, accessory after the fact to a felony, which is a 5-year felony and or a $10,000 fine. Is that correct, Mr. Daly? You're muted, Mr. Daly.
It is.
All right, is that, and Mr., is it Bayonetto or Sneed? Usually my prosecutor keeps their picture up, and so I know which one I got.
Your Honor, I spoke to Ms. Wise about this one, so I can cover this one.
Okay, so that's the plea, correct?
It is, Your Honor, yes.
All right, so Mr. Van Meldigan, can you raise your right hand? Do you put it on the screen so I can see it? There you go. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you state your full name for the record?
Jeffrey John Van Meldigan.
Van Meldigan. All right. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Van Meldigan, you have heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty to count 4 accessory after the fact to a felony, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison and or a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, are you satisfied with Mr. Daly as your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, ma'am.
Neither the prosecutor, the defendant, or anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Mr. Daly?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Bayonetto?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Van Meldigan, is that correct as far as you're aware?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable had you been convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No, ma'am.
All right. Sir, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about January 26th of 2019, in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee, that you did commit the offense of accessory after the fact to a felony? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Mr. Daly?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Bayonetto?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Ben Meldigan, has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimate of what your sentence will be?
No, Your Honor.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Van Meldigan, on January 26th of 2019, did you commit the offense of accessory after the fact to a felony by assisting in some way David Taylor or Juan Vasquez after you knew that they had committed a felony?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, did you drive them away? Did you let them hide at your house? Like, what happened? Mr. Daly, I don't have any more specific information.
Yes. Mr. Van Meldigan, on that date in question, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes. Yes, Mr. Daly.
Okay. And while you were operating that motor vehicle, was an armed robbery committed?
Yes, yes, sir.
And after the armed robbery was committed, you drove the individuals away. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
But you were not involved in the armed robbery at all. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I have no other questions, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied,
I'm
Mr. Bayonetto?
The only thing I would add is, Mr. Van Meldigan, you knew that the armed robbery had occurred, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think that's the only thing I would add, Judge.
All right, has court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Daly?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bayonetto?
Yes, Your Honor.
I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. Mr. Daly, are you available on January 20th at 8:15 in the morning?
Yes, I believe so. On December 20th or January?
January 20th.
January 20th. That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Van Meldigan, I'm going to set this for January 20th at 8:15. I'm going to require you to come in person for sentencing, okay?
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Chris Jones from the Michigan Department of Corrections. and he's going to give you further instructions on what you need to do. When you meet with the probation department, make sure that you are truthful with them about your background and the events that occurred. They'll prepare a pre-sentence report. They'll provide a copy of that to Mr. Daly, and then Mr. Daly will review that with you prior to sentencing. And then we will see you back on January 20 at 8:15 in the morning, okay?
January 20th at 8:15 in the morning.
Yes, sir. And I'm gonna open up a breakout room, and I want you to go into that breakout room with Mr. Jones,
No.
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you should have got an invitation.
Okay. Join
All
breakout
right,
room. Put
Yeah,
join,
join
right?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you can, after you talk to Mr. Jones, disconnect and go on your way. What is your name again? Okay, hold on. Who's your attorney? Sam Malaro? All right, he's still not here yet. Okay. All right, Mr. Daly, I'm looking. Celeste Dunn.
I
Ms.
think
Dunn?
that's it.
No, don't you go away yet. Let's see, you waived Greenwald, you did Meldigan. Okay, now you can go, Mr. Daly, you're all set.
Okay. Thank you,
All
Judge.
right, thank you. I'll see you later, Mr. Daly.
Bye now.
All
Thank you.
right. All right, so Ms. Dunn, let me grab that file. Information. Okay, so Ms. Dunn, have you had ample time to chat with Mr. C now?
I have, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Good. All right, we're back on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ashley Marie Josephine Cousino, file number 22-21022FH. So, Ms. Dunn, how do you wish to proceed today?
Your Honor, we're requesting an adjourned pretrial to give the people the opportunity to provide us the medical records. We only have medical records from the emergency room. So we need the complete medical records, as well as there was some pictures presented at the preliminary exam that we have not received copies of. So I talked to Mr. Sneed about that. And so if we can have an adjournment to give them the opportunity to get those to us, that would be great.
Okay, so I'm going to set this over to February 15th at 8:15 in the morning, or I'm sorry, 8:30 in the morning. So February 15 at 8:30 in the morning. So Ms. Dunn, what we do is you'll prepare a stipulation in order to adjourn, and Mr. Sneed, can she sign your name with permission?
Yes, thank you, Judge.
Okay, so, and then you can just send that over to the court adjourning that date, all right?
Yeah, Your Honor, and I apologize. I just looked at, I have a go trial scheduled on the 15th in another courtroom. I'm available on the 8th.
Yep, I can do February 8th.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll set that over to February 8th at 8:30 in the morning via Zoom, and we'll see you back on that day.
Okay, wonderful, Judge, and I'll prepare the stipulated order. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Brenner and Ms. Underwood, I do have Benjamin Wallace.
That's going to be a plea, I believe, Your Honor.
Oh, I had him. Where'd he go?
Uh-oh.
He's
Rhonda,
been
you
here.
there?
Well, he has been here all morning. So he had to disconnect, and I know he was, so we'll give him a couple more moments to reconnect. All right, ma'am, could I ask your name, please?
Hiller.
I'm Wallace.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so she's on the phone. Miss Underwood, Mr. Wallace was connected and he's disconnected, so.
I've got to go, Mr. Wallace. Bye.
Okay, that's right. He was talking to Miss Underwood. So is he logging back on, Miss Underwood?
Yes, he's logging back on. I apologize, Your Honor. I
It's
had
all
your
right.
speaker off and I was talking to him.
All right, Mr. Lyons,
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. So Braxton Tyndall, we were here before. I do not see a waiver in the file, and I don't see him. He's not here today.
I've called him several times. It goes right to voicemail. Literally, I've been calling him while I've been sitting here waiting in your courtroom this morning. It goes directly to voicemail. I'm not sure what to say.
Okay, so Mr. Lyons, I know that when he was here before, I had told him to contact your office to do a waiver, so I don't know if there's some confusion on his part. I know his mom brought him.
Yeah.
And so, Mr. Lyons, I can set this, I can do one of two things. I can give you a couple minutes to try to reach him, or I can move it to next week.
We can move it to next week, Judge. Because I've been in front of you next week at 8:30 on the 14th.
Okay, so I'll set this over to the 14th at 8:30, and we'll mail a notice out because it's pre-arraignment, so. All right, we'll move it out to next week.
Judge, and I'll do all I can do to get my hands on it.
Can you tell me? I heard you. All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Braxton Lamar Tyndall, file number 22-21144 FC. I have George Lyons appearing on behalf of Mr. Tyndall, and I have Isaac Sneed. Are you here for Tyndall? Oh, they're here, Mr. Lyons. No, is Braxton here? Yeah. Okay, he's coming in, Mr. Lyons.
Great.
All right, so we'll wait for him to come in the courtroom.
Fantastic.
All right. While we're waiting for him to come in, Mr. Wallace, can you hear me? Wait. Mr. Wallace, Mr. Wallace? We can't hear you, Mr. Wallace. Can't hear you. Nope, still can't hear you. I'm going to send Mr. Wallace a chat message stating that we cannot hear you. He disconnected to his car audio.
No, I'm still here.
Oh, I got you now. I can hear you now. All right,
Okay.
This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Benjamin Ray Wallace. File number 22-20838FH. Ms. Underwood, you represent Mr. Wallace, and I have Sarah Brenner appearing on behalf of the Attorney General's office. This is the date and time set for a pretrial conference in this matter. Let me find it on my docket. Let's take care of Vela. Hold on. Okay. So, Ms. Underwood, how do you wish to proceed today with Mr. Wallace?
Mr. Wallace, am I correct? And we're going round at this point, but $96 a week is being taken out of your check?
Correct.
Yeah, and I'm only showing $96 a month showing up at the FOC.
Because I have check stubs from Brisky showing $96 a week.
Okay, Your Honor, I guess what I'm going to ask, we're trying to work out a plea bargain in this.
Okay.
I would anticipate that's going to be done some point. But could we, with the AG's approval, could we put this over till January and find out what's going on here? And also I want to dig more into the plea bargain with Mr. Wallace because he has some concerns about how it would affect his position as a volunteer firefighter.
All right, Mr. Wallace, you said Brisky. Are you working at Brisky Brothers?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Wallace, what I'm going to ask you to do is print off, if you're getting a paper check, just get a copy to, or take it over to Miss Underwood to get copies of like the last couple checks showing what's coming out each paycheck. But
Okay.
then if you have to print it off or get it from your employer, but if you could take that to Miss Underwood and she can provide that to Miss Brunner, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then my next available is January 25. Is that all right with you, Ms. Underwood?
That's all right with me, Your Honor.
All right.
That's fine with me too, Judge.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Brenner. So, Ms. Underwood, you'll do this in order to adjourn. Can she sign your name with permission, Ms. Brenner?
Yes, she can.
I will.
All right,
Thank you, Your
excellent. So, Mr. Wallace, thank you, and we'll see you back on January 25 at 8:30 in the morning.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, I believe that's all I have with you, Ms. Brenner, today.
Yes, it is. Rhonda, are you ready to head over to Old Sabre, or do you still have more here?
You can go to Old Sabre.
I have Mr. Ahmadinejad for a arraignment, Your Honor, and I know he's here. And
Okay.
I could
Mr.
I'll be right over, Sarah.
Okay, thanks.
Al Muhammad, you mean?
Muhammad, I apologize.
Okay. Okay. All right, I'll bring him in. All right, Mr. Lyons, I'll pop back to you in just one moment.
Problem, Judge, I'm right here.
All right, Mr. Al Muhammad, can you hear me? If you want to go ahead and unmute your device. All right, sir, can you hear me? Mr. Al Muhammad, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Excellent. All right, and is it Al Muhammad? How do you pronounce your last name?
Al Muhammad, ALMOHAMMED.
Al Muhammad.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. All right. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ahmed El Muhammad, file number 22-21166FH, and Ren Underwood appearing on behalf of the defendant, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. I thought Isaac was smoking a cigar there for a minute, but this is the date and time set for a arraignment in this matter. Ms. Underwood, you waive the reading of the felony information.
I do, Your Honor. And I would also acknowledge its receipt and the receipt of the request for discovery and witness list, Your Honor.
All right. Do you wish me to enter a plea of not guilty on your client's behalf?
I would ask the court to enter a plea of not guilty on my client's behalf and set this matter for a pretrial, Your Honor.
All right. March 15 at 8:30 in the morning. Is that all right for you, Ms. Underwood?
I'm sorry?
March 15 at 8:30 in the morning.
Yes, Your Honor, that's fine.
All right, so sir, we're going to set this for another pretrial on March 15th of 2023 at 8:30 in the morning. So you might want to write that down. We will mail out a notice, but I am telling you on the record. So that'll be via Zoom, and it's the same number, so you can zoom back into this number today. All right, that you called today.
Okay, I appreciate it, Your Honor.
All right,
Thank you, Mr.
sir,
Muhammad.
and
Thank you,
have a
ma'am.
good holiday. Thank you.
Yep, you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Mr. Tindo, you want to come up here? All right, Mr. Lyons, you have to stand right at that podium for me. All right. See something here.